Well, hey there. Aha, I see an issue here. Let's see if I can. There we go. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, it's Lecky again. Aging and fitness. I got a little bit of sweat drying on me because I just did my spinner. Now, since we're talking, there's a couple things about aging that you might want to know in terms of your fitness. So I just got finished eating a little while ago. I've been sitting here working on a few things and looking up some data in my textbook for when I became a trainer. And so I was looking up stuff relative to the development of cardiorespiratory fitness. And there is some, if you're going to do a search, look up longevity cardio studies. All right. Make sure if you're doing any kind of searching and you want data, put the word study in there because you'll get studies that actually involve what you're looking for, not the stuff from influencers and Health Online and other websites like that. They might just be promoting stuff that people paid them to allow to go on their website. Anyway, so there is some respect to a couple things they say are good for longevity. One is your legs, which means put some muscle on them. And the other is VO2 max, and that's cardio. Now, there is some theory that, a certain, I think it was 208 minus your age, it should be your target heart rate. However, that formula was never intended to be used that way. The Tanaka formula is more accurate, and you can look that up. It's essentially, and I should have put this in a picture, it's your age times 0.7, 208 minus that number. So if you parenthesis, it'd be 208 minus parenthesis 0.7 times my age is 70, whoop, and then that gives me a target, which I believe is 159 right now. 159 times 65%. So that is my target heart rate that I want to get up to, which is 104, I think, in that neighborhood. So if I'm on the spinner and I want to get my heart up, because if I'm sitting in meditation, my heart rate's down in the high 50s. So that's not, otherwise it's in the low 60s, which is pretty decent. And honestly, meditation will help that get there. All things being equal, it will help with that. You might need blood pressure medication, so forth, so on, so on. But that's not the point. Do a little meditating to bring it down. So then when you're doing your cardio, you can get it up to 103, 104. Part of that means that it's getting you into a zone 2 level. There's 5 different levels. And so this heart rate will be good for, getting the heart going, helping the blood flow, easing the vessels and all that kind of stuff, getting, good blood flow in your feet and all that kind of thing. You want to do that. And VO2 max is a little different than just a steady state zone 2. So like if somebody called me on the phone while I'm sitting there doing my steady state zone 2, they would probably know that I'm doing something. It's a little different than this. I would have to put in, when I get up into zone 3, nope, you've lost all that. It's going to be, no talking here. VO2 max, however, is based on something entirely different. And the data in the book here is confusing as all get out. The idea is to be able to increase your output as much as you can for a minute, and then see how long it takes to get back there. That's called your heart rate variability, I think. But that's how I had it measured when I was doing my Krav Maga instructor training. And the idea is, in a VO2 max, one of the tools they use to help generate this is what they call the Norwegian 4x4. And the way that's structured is they do 4 minutes at zone 2, if you're my age. So that would be my target range. And then after, I think it's 4 minutes to that way, 4 minutes afterburners on. It is a lot. If you cannot do that, I don't suggest it. I do not do that. So I might put on my headphones, because it's usually a good 20-minute session for me is 4 songs on my Pandora light jazz station. And all those songs roll in about the 4 or 5 minute range. So what I do is I can use the timer on my phone, or if you have I don't have a watch, but if you have, and I used to have one somewhere, but I think I want a new one. You can set a timer for a minute. So you do your 4 minute, okay. Or at the end of the first song, 1 minute, as fast as you can. I don't change the settings on the machine. The way it is the way it is. Per minute. Of course, you're breathing faster. My 4 minutes can generally be done mostly nasal breathing. Not a challenge. When I'm going all out, it's a challenge. So I'm breathing through the mouth. Make sure you have some water there. And after a minute, you stop. You go back to your zone 2. End of song 2, you do it again. Now, if you're brand new to this, break into this a little bit differently. All right. Do 2 songs, then do your minute, or 3 songs, depending how comfortable you feel. And you may not even start with a minute. You might start with 30 seconds. You might start with 15, or do 1 song 15, 1 song 15, 1 song 15. Find out what works for you comfortably to be able to raise your heart rate up and then come back down from that. And honestly, I'm going to say, if you have any questions, check with your doctor first. Make sure you're okay to do this kind of exercise. The other thing that is important in longevity, remember I mentioned the legs, and that's called sarcopenia. At our age, we tend to lose muscle fast, unless, get yourself some of these. These are kettlebells. This is a little 10-pounder. I've got 15, I've got 20. I'm debating getting the 35. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Anyway, it's lifting heavy is good for your body. So what I do oftentimes is right now I'm in a cycle where I'm doing ab exercises with my kettlebell 3 times a week. And then the other 3-4 days of the week, Saturdays I do both, and so it's 15 minutes. I have my little timer over there on the windowsill. Right there. Gives me 15 seconds of work. And then, no, the break is about 15. I think it's 30 seconds. 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So, but what that does is it gives me X number of cycles, and I do 15 minutes. Okay. So I'll do, now when I'm doing and that's for my ab stuff. So that's, and here's the way I do that. So the leg exercises is on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Holding my kettlebell like this, I will, like this. I'll do a squat. Actually, I start from the squat, bring it up to down below, and then I curl it up. And then there's 2 things you can do. Push. All right. Or I could roll it over, bring it up, curl it this way, push it up this way, bring it down to here, uncurl, squat, touch the ground. Sometimes I can just put it down, release my grip, bring it up, curl, or halo. Both ways. Now I could do this one, do a whole nother curl, squat, come around, do the other direction. This thing is so great for this. So this exercise of the halo will work all of these muscles, triceps, all around your shoulders, up in your neck. It might give you a headache, but this is really shoulder oriented. All of this, a little bit of the upper chest. Doesn't matter what you want to. And if you want to just break it up, do it one day one way, one day the other way. So I do those. And then I use the same thing for doing my ab exercises on my knees. So that would be the halos, the chops, around the worlds. But what you want to do overall is develop muscle. Keep from losing it. Okay, because part of the reason you want to be able to do this is when you want to pick up your granddaughter, like the commercial, the old guy picks up his granddaughter, does this so she can put the star on the Christmas tree. Yeah, you want to be the hero? There you go. It's that easy. Just take this bugger and lift. And then, and in that video, I'm pretty sure that guy's using one of the big ones, which is not where I would suggest starting. I understand you can get these buggers in 2-pound weights, 2-pound versions, and this almost weighs that. So start where you can and then improve upon that. And then when you get to a certain size, if you don't want to get any bigger, that's where you stop. All right? And you just do the same routines just to maintain, because even if the weight doesn't go up, you can do more reps, or you can do this slowly, time under tension. If you're going into that squat, you just take your darn time, and then you come back up, and then you curl real slow, up real slow. And I guarantee you will not do as many as you did in the first set. So there's all kinds of variations for helping your own body age better. Granted, most of that starts in the kitchen anyway, and I've got some other things going on with sleep and stuff like that. So if you have questions, email is right there. I don't have a website. Just email me. We can set up a conversation. But this is, and if you're not my age yet, all the better. Start doing this stuff now. Develop these disciplines, because I didn't start doing this till I was 70 or 60. And I already had some things setting in. So, yeah, it's an uphill battle for me now. Start that now for yourself, preferably if you're younger. All right. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.